It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theaters, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey there, Jim.
Hey, Bryce. How you doing?
Doing okay. Getting good grades.
Nice.
Future's so bright.
Gotta wear shades.
Know it.
Good for you.
Sweet ass.
And we got Murray.
Yo.
Who's flying the Film Rage colors today. I like it, Merman.
As am I.
I did a lot.
Yeah, I don't care about you.
Oh, well, there we go.
This is the official merch. That's just something you guys got made.
That's something he got made.
That's just.
I didn't
that's
get one.
That's something
Yeah,
he
I don't
got
want
made.
that.
He's got to buy it online.
This is the official Bryce merchandise.
Yes.
Saying.
So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Okay. Well, thanks to all who've been supporting us. If
Bryce
you
is being weird
love
today.
our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform.
I need you to match my energy, Jim.
Oh, okay. Is that? I'm ready.
I think Bryce did a bunch of drugs before this.
Where was I?
I'm high on life, baby.
Oh, that's right. Or join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/Film Rage. See, if you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible film, and we'll watch it. If it played anywhere in the world and it's not a kid's movie, we will see it if you dare us to see it. Now, let's get to raging before Bryce starts to come down from his high.
Ooh.
What the amazing merman predict? What the amazing merman predict? Will he predict a rage or will he predict a mondo? What the amazing merman predict? What the amazing merman predict? Here he comes swimming to you.
Music.
Merman predicts.
All right. Well, apparently you guys saw 4 movies last week.
Merman predicts.
Yes. Quad of movies.
And I heard of half of them.
You heard of half of them.
Merman predicts.
First one on your list is Problemista.
Problemista.
I never heard of.
Did you see the trailer, though?
I watched the trailer
Nice.
today,
I think you'd like it, Merman.
and I see Tilda Swinton is in it.
Yes.
Is
Which you guys
The once
like.
mesmerizing Tilda Swinton.
the still mesmerizing,
Once and
but
always,
not
in my
officially.
I don't care about your list. They're always, if they're mesmerizing once, they're always mesmerizing.
There's only room for one. There can be only one, and
That's right. Don't be making
what
a
we
remake
need
of
to do
Highlander.
is every person on the mesmerizing list star in the same movie.
Yeah.
Then we can get it down to
Get
one.
rid of everybody.
What was
Yes.
that movie from the? I think it was the 70s or 80s. It's a mad, 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 mad world. That was kind of like every actor in Hollywood was in that
That's what
movie
we-
at the
that's
same
what we
time.
need
That's
right
what we
now.
need right now.
Sure.
Yes. Anyways,
Yeah, so Problemista looked really weird, and Tilda was her usual weird self, and it
Okay.
looked kind of quirky and
yeah,
funny.
yeah,
And I don't know. Let's give it a double mondo.
Double Mondo. Okay.
Monkey Man
Oh, Monkey Man.
with Dev Patel.
Yes.
Apparently produced or organized by.
He directed it
And
No,
wrote
I
it
mean also.
and starred in it and produced it.
Can I finish it?
And
And
Th-
some
there
I
was
think
a-
I think he also did set design.
There's another name involved too, which if you let me get it out,
Oh,
I
what
think
is
he
it?
painted some stuff
he
in
probably did too.
What? Did he do security too?
It's also a Jordan Peele production.
it. Yes, it is.
Oh, it's Peely.
It's Peele. Yeah, Jim was looking forward to this. He loves his Dev Patel.
I do.
Who doesn't?
I don't.
What? Why did I ask?
He doesn't like the Green Knight. That was his own.
The
I
Green
don't like
Knight
any-
was
I don't
so
like any of his
good.
movies, but I'm not going to get into that. Yeah, of course Jim gave it a mondo because it's Dev Patel.
Okay.
Bryce, just based on the amount of pure action in this movie,
Mhm,
I don't
mhm.
think he did. I
Oh.
think it's a man.
Really?
Because I know Bryce doesn't. He likes his slow movies with walking. He doesn't really
That's-
like a lot of fights.
Punching
Yeah.
and dick kicking.
Exactly. That's not really his thing.
Hey, any movie that's done well, Bryce can mondo.
Well, anyway.
That is true.
Some movies that aren't done well, Bryce can mondo.
Yeah,
That's
that's
right.
also true.
He gives up Mondos like candy.
Some movies that are
sometimes.
really well made, Bryce can rage.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, he has the worst rating system.
He does. That's
Back
why,
to you, Murray.
That's why I can't. That's why, I can never figure him out. Then we got the First Omen,
The
Gotta be me.
first Omen.
which again, Jim loves his horror movies, and he likes his tortured Catholics with
Holy
their
crap.
demons.
I do love torture.
You think he had a hell of a weekend at the movies?
I think that's probably a double man. I don't think it was that great.
Okay.
So we're going down that one.
Well, I don't think any of these are rages. Put it that way.
All right.
I think you guys had a hell of a weekend at the movies.
Wow.
You know what? They don't call him the
Whoa.
Amazing Merman for nothing.
And the last one, Dogman, which I vaguely heard of.
Mm.
Uh-huh,
I saw
uh-huh.
the trailer, and I saw that probably one of the creepiest actors ever in Hollywood.
Oh.
Caleb
And also
Landry
one of our
Jones,
favorites.
And one of your
Yes,
favorites. was in
CLJ.
it, and he looked just weirder than usual.
Yes.
I'm going to give that a double mondo for you guys, too.
Double mondo.
I don't know about you, Bryce, but I think Murray's channeling all his energy into his amazingness this week.
And again, I don't really care.
What? You know what? That's why people listen, because Murray just doesn't care.
He
But he's
just-
still
I really-
He
amazing.
just don't give up.
That's right. I really don't.
A badoop, a badonkadonk.
I think we should just run this
Merman
music
predicts-
for another
No,
45
it's
minutes.
not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Find me something better.
Oh, this is pretty groovy.
Boom, 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 boom.
This is groovy. This is groovy. This is groovy. This is groovy. Problemista.
Problemista. Is that what we're talking about first?
Problemista.
Your list.
All right. Problemista is the feature-length directorial debut for Julio Torres, who also stars and wrote this.
What?
It is a typical first film in that the director has a lot of ideas and puts them all in their debut effort. Sometimes that works and sometimes it misfires.
What?
In this case, it works. Torres plays a wannabe toy designer named Alejandro from El Salvador who wants more than anything to work for Hasbro. But until that happens, he needs to find someone to sponsor him, as he has been recently fired from a company that freezes folks so they can be awoken at a later date, and because of this, his work visa is about to run out. Enter Elizabeth, played by Tilda Swinton, who is an eccentric widower, sort of, who wants to have a show for her sort of dead husband's paintings of eggs. Although, I guess he isn't really dead, as he is frozen in a container where Alejandro used to work. It is the relationship between Alejandro and Elizabeth that takes this film to very, very joyful places. Every scene between them was something to behold, with Swinton chewing up the scenery and Torres reacting to the tornado of madness that surrounded him. There are things in this that I cannot believe worked at all, such as an actor playing Craigslist, which in concept is like the dumbest thing to ever put on screen. But in reality, under the direction of Mr. Torres, this was really quite amusing. There are quite a few other whimsical occurrences throughout. And for some reason, on the back of some really good writing and one really great actor in Swinton, everything just kind of works. It shouldn't. It has no business working, but it does. I found the whole film quite a bit of fun. It was a very enjoyable meh. I couldn't quite get it to a mondo.
Who knew?
There you go.
Okay. You know, we just kind of talked about the fact that Bryce sometimes gives out mondos just because of one person's performance. In this performance, Murray, this was Tilda Swinton at her absolute
She was
best.
fantastic.
I
The
can see
fact
that.
that he did not give out a mondo to Tilda Swinton's best performance of her life.
No.
Oh, by far, this is Tilda
she
Swinton
was
at
she
her
was
best.
amazing
I
as
kind of liked her
usual.
in that,
This
that
was
zombie one.
This is at her absolute best. There was, yeah. This goes to show.
It was an
Bryce,
enjoyable meh.
You're an enjoyable man.
I would concur. I am an
You used to
enjoyable
be
meh.
fucking dynamic, but now you're just an enjoyable man.
Now I'm an enjoyable meh.
All right,
I'm
well-
actually more comfortable with that.
Yeah, that's what.
Less to live up to.
But yeah,
There's too much pressure being bleeping dynamic.
Can't all be that.
Well,
No.
Murray, if you ever thought you could laugh more than anything else on the planet by someone saying the word database
Yes.
multiple times in a movie, then you have not seen Tilda Swinton in her absolute most wacky and, I'm going to say, manically weird and hilarious roles she has ever played. Every single situation that she is in and every word that she says in this movie made me laugh nonstop throughout this entire movie. But you may ask, what was this movie about? Well, Bryce kind of already mentioned it a little bit. Well, it's about a boy who dreams of eventually becoming a toy designer. So he leaves his fantasy world with his mom in El Salvador to escape to New York and tries to get work. Well, actually tries to get work, but he more importantly, get a work visa in a convoluted system I guess the Americans have about getting a work visa, which sounds almost impossible to be able to achieve.
Yep.
So he can eventually go work for Hasbro. And you have two of the most unlikely people become friends and learn that to become better humans by experiencing each other's selves. This film is funny and quirky and silly and fantastical and wackadoo at times. And Julio Torres, who plays Alejandro, has to try and get his sponsorship at times in unbelievable, crazy ways. But nothing phases him. Eventually, Tilda Swinton helps him learn that it's not about having to choose between everything and getting nothing. It's about getting everything and also getting everything. This movie is a fantasy adventure comedy for the ages. I loved every single frame of this film. This movie was almost perfect. It was a super duper mondo. And I say, A24, is there nothing you can't do?
Yeah, A24, they're just...
There you have a 90% track record.
I think it's higher than that.
I don't think... I've never given a rage to an A24
No.
film.
There's been a couple
Never.
that happened.
Well, you, but that's
Yeah,
you.
I've never given a rage, I don't think either.
Yeah, I guess perhaps I should frame it as that A24, I should say, there is everything you can do. Because that's a positive spin that Tilda Swinton would have done from this
Everything
movie.
all at
Yes.
once, too.
Yeah, everywhere.
Yes.
So yeah, this is a total mondo. How you didn't get this to mondo? We were
I
both
loved it.
laughing through the entire
It
movie.
was very
There's never
good.
been a comedy that was as funny as this.
It was so good.
Swinton's
Tilda Swinton's
character
amazing.
in this, like everything she says, she goes to the absolute extreme with absolutely everything, and Alejandro just finds a way to just pull her back to reality, like a fishing lure.
Yep.
The two of them working together was two of the best actors. Like, he was fantastic in this. How he could be so dry. His scene where he walks into work the one day and he trips, that alone just made me laugh. It was just crazy. And then there's a bank scene where they charge him $35 every time he overdraws himself. And then, of course, the service charges overdraw him, so he gets charged another $35. He's like, oh, he thought he had like, $50 in his account, but no, he had he was
Negative
minus
600.
negative 600, but mostly all because of service charges.
Yeah.
And all he wanted to do was get the person he was talking to admit that was the stupidest thing that she'd ever heard, and she just couldn't do it.
Yes. It was good.
Yeah, this the trolley scene was also
Trolley
incredible.
scene was great.
There was so many things in this.
There
Alejandro's roommate.
Yes.
she didn't even charge him. She's like, he rents his room out because he can't afford it because he's trying to get a job, and Tilda Swinton's character is not really paying him yet because he doesn't have a.
Well,
a work visa.
he also is not supposed to get paid.
Yeah, you're not allowed to get paid.
Yeah, you're not allowed to get paid, but you have to pay them $6,000.
But also
it's a
the
nice little loophole.
the guy who's his caseworker with getting his work visa is like, well, just work under the table. It's just like, okay, I don't think that you're supposed to do that.
No.
And then he offers him a job, and he's like, well, how is he going to give him the job without? So it was just like one thing after another. It was wacky, but
did he have to do some odd jobs?
Yeah, he had to go and become a windshield wiper in a sex maniac's apartment
Well,
and do sex things.
You have to do sex things while cleaning a window.
Yeah.
Yes. It's different.
How you did not love this movie? I can't even understand.
Yeah.
This is probably going to make my top 10 movies. I
liked it a lot.
This might make my top 100 movies of all time.
I really enjoyed it.
You're wacky.
It was a high meh.
All right, well.
Worth seeing. Go see it.
I thought you were going to nail this, Murray. I really did.
Well, again, I think he should have given it a Mondo. Obviously, he thought it was a Mondo.
Yeah.
For whatever. And
if I thought it was by the way, I didn't. It's right there. I didn't change my rating.
Yeah, but you've given Mondos out for just performances.
You've given crappier movies Mondos. My point is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That still could happen this podcast.
All right, well. Whatever. Okay, well, here we go. Okay, so Monkey Man.
Yeah.
We know Dev Patel, the actor.
We do.
We know Dev Patel, the writer.
Yeah.
We know Dev Patel, the producer.
Yeah.
And now we know Dev Patel, the director.
Yes.
Oh, also.
I thought he did Green Knight as well.
No, he didn't direct it.
Oh, I thought he did.
And we also know Dev Patel, the Monkey Man. The story of a young boy traumatized in his youth by seeing his mom murdered by none other than the police and, I'm putting in quotes here, evil politicians. His religion is that of following the Hindu god Hanuman, or the monkey god. He lives in the underbelly of society, where he lives his life as a terrible ring fighter dressed as a monkey, where he basically gets his ass kicked for money, all in the hopes of climbing society so that he can take revenge.
He's punishing himself.
Yeah, every time. And if he bleeds, he gets a blood bonus.
He's got some deep-seated guilt.
I thought he was the one doing all the ass kicking.
Well, just wait. But he's
not in the ring.
But he's terrible at revenge, and soon realizes that he now is the most wanted man in his region because he picked a fight with the wrong evil police chief. So they, of course, almost kill him, and he gets saved by another religious faction of deity worshipping trans folks, who, through the power of Indian root, similar to ayahuasca, cleanse his soul. Now, this is a bit of a intermission here. Now, at this point in the film, I think that these peaceful trans peeps are going to help him to mend his tattered aura and find peace within himself. But no, Murray, that is not what happens.
No.
They show him how to harness his revenge and do some awesome drum training, which carries also with it many memory flashback montages of his mom. Plus,
a lot of flashbacks.
Yeah, an Indian drummer I could listen to forever, playing these amazing drum beats so infectious, you still wish you could die of an overdose of them. That's what I felt.
Yes.
If I was going to die, I want to die by this Indian drummer's drum beat. That's what I wanted.
All right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
With his newfound monkey power and insight into drum fighting, with the help of his new family of trans people,
lost me already.
He fucks up everyone everywhere all at once, and we get an ending completely satisfying with multiple boss levels of ass kicking and dick punching. The first half of this film is an adrenaline fueled manic editing and shooting fest for the senses that Dev does interesting and brilliant shooting styles to get this level of anxiety ridden action scenes so to all of our senses. Then we get zen like moments as he heals himself, and then we get the end with manic super trans super friends with ass-kicking action to a perfect ending and a completely satisfying action revenge human rights wielding mondo of a first direction by one of the most and my most favorite actor, writer, producers, and now favorite directors, Dev Patel. I absolutely loved every single moment of this film. It is completely wacky and wackadoo. If the last movie we talked about was wackadoo, this was like action wackadoo. This fucked up my whole senses.
It's pretty good.
This movie No, you would have probably liked it.
I'm sure I would have.
No, you would have liked this movie, Murray. Because you can't not love Dev Patel getting his ass kicked and then turning around and doing some service of himself.
All right.
All right, so, meh? Is this a high meh for you too?
You'll have to wait and see there,
Oh,
Jim.
God, you and your...
Monkey Man is the feature-length directorial debut for Dev Patel, who also stars and wrote this.
Yeah, that's what I said.
It is a typical first film in that the director has a lot of ideas and puts them all in their debut effort.
Wait, you did that in the last one.
Sometimes that works, and sometimes it misfires.
Did you even do any effort? Is this the same review? What?
Well,
He's now just reading the same review.
In this case...
He changed the name of the movie.
Okay, it didn't work?
It works.
Well, that's what he said on the last one.
Yeah. So let's see if we come to the same conclusion.
Oh, my God.
Patel takes on India's well-documented discrimination and corruption in an action film that is political, religious, mythological, and a champion for equal rights. The film is inclusive and portrays strength in often marginalized groups in society. It is bloody and violent as people are dismembered and stabbed. Dev Patel is excellent as a man that had everything taken away from him and now must get revenge. The action sequences are well choreographed without seeming too choreographed.
That's true. They seem kind of real.
Yeah. There is a grittiness to the action that helps it feel more genuine than the slickness of many Hollywood productions these days. This was a tremendous debut for Patel as a director, although it was a little overstuffed with a reliance on too many flashbacks that sometimes interrupted the momentum of the film. I really, really, really liked Monkey Man. It was meh.
You are a complete fucking idiot.
It was very good.
So good.
Very good.
This movie is so good.
Yes.
And as I said, there's too much in it. There's too much action. I knew he wouldn't love it.
I was fine. The action was great. It was good. I really, really enjoyed it.
You know what? Flashback montages normally bother me, but this one didn't bother me.
Yeah, I thought that there were a lot of them.
I could have used a bit more.
No,
I'm not going to lie.
There was too much of them, and it bogged down the flow of the movie.
No, it didn't. Because we had to take a breath. The first.
Oh, there was plenty
of
of time. There's a lot of development in this where you had like the whole stuff. This movie slows down quite a bit in between action sequences. You didn't need all these flashback montages to take a breath. It's
the Indian way. You gotta get inside. The only thing that was missing, I was disappointed because I waited to the end and there wasn't a Bollywood dance.
Well, this was a Bollywood movie without the dancing.
I know, which made it not a Bollywood.
There was even music in it, although no singing.
Then it's not a Bollywood movie, it's just an Indian movie.
That's right.
There you go.
Well, it's actually a British Indian movie because I think Dev Patel is actually British.
I've never seen a Bollywood movie there isn't dancing.
I know, I was a little sad. I was hoping that we got a monkey dance or something.
Well, kind of good. Not really.
Well,
There's no monkey dance.
Fighting, whatever, same thing.
Dance fighting.
Well, we got a drum, and that was cool. And there was dancing during the drumming.
There was some dancing.
There you go.
A little bit.
You know what? Everybody should see this movie. It's
very good.
It's Mondo. It's super Mondo, actually.
It is quite an enjoyable meh.
All right. Well, this one is probably also going to make.
I'm looking forward to both these directors making first movie Problemista.
How can you land Tilda Swinton in your first directorial debut? Apparently, if it's good enough for Tilda Swinton, it should be good enough for you.
And it was. I really, really, really liked it.
You're wrong.
I shouldn't have liked it?
No, you're right. You liked it.
Okay.
You're right that you liked it, but you're wrong that it wasn't Mondo.
I should have liked it more.
Did you? Wait. Yeah, plus more.
He was one really short of being a Mondo for that one.
Yeah. One more really?
One more really would have made it a Mondo.
There you go.
Really, yeah. I guess one last memory flashback montage.
There was a lot of them.
It wasn't enough. I wanted more. I never want more memory flashback montages, but I wanted more in this.
It kind of stopped the momentum.
You know what?
For me.
Maybe I should only give it a meh too, because it didn't have enough memory flashback montages.
Ah, yes. Do you want to change your rating?
No, because this movie was
very good.
It was so good.
It was very good.
I loved every minute of it. All right. Well, why don't we talk about the First Omen? Let's talk about the First Omen in the room.
Okay. So the First Omen is the feature-length directorial debut for Arkasha Stevenson,
Again?
who also wrote this, but she does not star
She
in
does
it.
not star. So the first movie that we're talking
So
about.
apparently she's a slacker.
Yeah, she's
Total
a slacker.
slacker. The other two wrote, directed, and starred in it. But slacker Arkasha, she only wrote and directed. So anyways, unlike the first two films I reviewed today, I fail to see the inspiration.
What?
This takes this religious horror tale and fails to separate itself from this completely tired genre. I'm done. Was this well made? Yes. Was the acting good? Yes. Were the effects good? Yes. Was I bored as this needlessly 2-hour marathon of a movie played out? Yes. This story of a nun who was bred to carry the son of Satan was tedious and yawn-inducing. And the ending that is supposed to neatly lead us into the original Omen was not effective at all and seemed tacked on.
Spoiler.
I don't care. It was as if I just sat through a 2-hour movie for one moment that the filmmaker was hoping would have me leaving the theater satisfied. Sadly, that was not the case. The First Omen fails to deliver anything near the original film that was packed with memorable scenes and moments. With The First Omen, I will be lucky to remember that I even saw it in a few years. It will be jumbled in my memory with the endless religious horror films that are now crowding my brain.
Yep.
I didn't hate this, but it still left me wondering what the point was. And that makes me rage. I'm sick of them. I don't want any more.
But it didn't. You didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it until I think about
The fact
why
that they made
why
it.
they make
The
it,
fact that
and that made me hate it. It's a rage.
Grace's writing system is just on fire today.
It's the best.
It's literally not a terrible movie, but because they made it, it's a rage. All
You're
right.
here, brother.
Oh, okay, there you go. You know what? I'm on side with you raging about the fact that they made this. I'm 100% on for that.
The stupid thing is it like there's no reason why they couldn't have tightened this down to 90 minutes.
77.
77 even. And if they did, it might have been a meh because it was well made and there was some good stuff in it. It was just so bloody long and bloody boring because every scene that should have been a third of the length was 3 times longer than it should have been, which made the movie 3 times longer than it should have been.
Well, maybe not 3, but maybe a third more than a 2/3.
1.5 times longer.
It's something like that. The math is not really perfectly equated in here, but
These
I get
pretzels are making me thirsty.
I get your point for sure. So, if you like creepy,
Put your sorries in a sack.
yeah, exactly. If you like creepy
Stick 'em where the sun
whispering,
don't shine.
yeah, Murray, if you like creepy whispering
I don't.
and jump scares
I don't.
and many shots of the mother of Satan lying on her back with her hair spread out like Medusa, with convenient story arches and predictable plots with loud, spooky orchestral music and random, weird, scary things happening, but also editing that makes no sense, then The First Omen is for you.
Yeah.
Is it for you, Murman?
I like none of that.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, it had a good tie into the original Omen. I didn't like how easy at the end it was for the priest dude to just find her. That was like, I just
Whatever.
showed up. Like, there's a lot of this, and if it was that easy for him to find them, then the evil coven should easily have been able to find her because there's more of them. There's like, I don't know, 50 or 60 of these evil coven.
There's a lot.
And there was just him, and he found her, no problem. I was confused by some of it, and not because I'm confused easily, if you know what I'm saying here. It was all right. It was meh.
Yeah.
It was all right. I didn't hate it. But it was really boring, and I've never seen, like, I'm sorry, like in the original Omen
Yes.
and other Omen adjacent films, just because you're implanted with Satan's seed doesn't mean your baby grows in like 5 minutes. And wouldn't if your stomach didn't have 9 months to get used to stretching, wouldn't it just rip you open when it went that fast?
Yeah.
Like she was completely not pregnant, and then she went for a car ride, Murray, and then she was.
And then all of a sudden she's like, and then all of a sudden, boom,
Then she had
got
twins.
a baby.
Then she had twins. Well, they had to cut them out, but
Yeah.
there's no possible way from science, and unless Satan. You know what? You know what we're missing from this, Bryce? It's satanic magic. We've talked about space magic. We've talked about other kinds of magic, force magic, but this was satanic magic. So if you've got satanic magic, it's kind of like the force. You can just
Do anything
you want, and if it doesn't work, it's like, you know what? I guess Satan was off duty that time.
There you go.
So, and there's editing scenes in here. Like, there's a scene. There's one in particular.
Are you sure it was a meh?
Yeah, it was a meh. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. It was boring, and I kind of didn't mind the linkage they made to the original Omen. I didn't hate it. It was like, okay, that makes sense, but it didn't need to be there. This movie did not need to exist because the Omen is one of my favorite horror
It didn't need
movies
to be
of all
there,
time.
and it felt tacked on because it didn't need to be there.
Well, if I was Murray right now and I was channeling Murray would say, it's because they're going to make another one and they got to make more money because here they have her hiding out with the sister.
This pretty much takes us to the First Omen.
No,
the First Omen.
Bryce, no, it doesn't.
It does.
No, because there's a whole other story arc here that we didn't know about.
What?
Like, did you know Damien had a sister?
No.
Well, now you do, and so we're gonna go
So you
find
think
out about
that's gonna have
Yes,
to be
of
a
course
thing?
it's gonna be the thing, and
Oh,
they're
God.
gonna have the coven chasing her. And,
No.
yes,
I don't
it's totally-
want that.
It's going to happen.
I don't want that.
Yeah, well, you know who's
Okay.
gonna. If we get a scooter riding Russell Crowe in it, then it
Well,
could change that to a
That's
meh.
true.
Well,
So you should not say
That's
that.
all. By the way, for all you directors out there, if you want to get a meh, just cut away to a scene where Russell Crowe's driving a scooter, and I will meh the bleepity blank out of your
that
movie
film.
because that
alone.
that makes me maybe happier than anything on the planet. It is just so enjoyable to watch.
Pure bliss.
To watch
Murray,
Russell
that's a-
scooter on a tiny little
That's
scooter.
why he's my most memorable.
Well,
There you go.
Murray, that's why you need to go watch The Pope's Exorcist.
No.
Of all the satanic movies, The Pope's Exorcist has the most Russell Crowe riding scooters.
Yes.
I'm done with
Which is gold, Murray.
I'm
Gold.
done with Catholic religious movies.
Yeah.
You know,
Happening.
I can't wait till I can actually rewatch that Immaculate one, so I can see if it is actually a Mondo.
It's bonkers, man. It's like the only Mondo I've given to
Something
one of
that
these.
bonkers?
No, to any of these. Like since The Exorcist, I don't know that I've given any other Mondo to any of these religious horror movies.
Yeah, this one wasn't a demonic horror movie though, so because it had Jesus juice.
Yeah.
Jesus juice
But
solves all problems.
It was some pretty evil people in it.
Yeah, were
Even
they?
with
Were they evil? They're trying to
They're not
bring
evil,
back.
they're possessed.
trying to bring back
It's different.
Jesus. It doesn't sound terrible. If you're a Christian, that's kind of like they're waiting for the second
She
coming.
wasn't a willing participant there, Jim.
Well,
That's pretty evil.
I'm sorry.
You can't just go sticking babies in people.
Did you follow the history of the Catholic
not to put
faith?
too fine a point on it, but that's exactly what happened in the original. I believe it's called
Immaculate
Christmas?
Conception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
somebody put a baby into somebody there.
Yeah.
Evil.
I don't think.
Not about evil,
I don't
but
think God.
just saying,
God asked,
that
"Hey, by the
happened."
way, do you mind if I
Uh,
stick a baby in there?"
I know. Maybe he should have.
Maybe he should have. Just saying.
No
Not to
means
piss off
no.
all
No
the
means no.
not
Even
to
if
piss
you're
off all the
God.
religious right, but yeah, to your point,
The religious right definitely do not listen to our
It works both
podcast.
ways. If Satan can do it, then God can do it. Just saying.
I can 100%
Or
guarantee.
neither of them can do
Or
it.
neither should do it, but anyway.
The important thing is I can 100% guarantee that there is not an alt-right Christian believer that listens to our podcast, or we'd get a lot more hate mail.
Yeah.
And we only get a little bit of hate
A
mail
little
now.
bit. Just a little tiny bit.
Just a little bit. All right. Well, our last movie
Ever?
of this week.
Oh, thank goodness.
Well, for you, or maybe not. We'll find out.
What?
Is Dogman.
Dogman.
Yes, Dogman.
That is, by the way, an excellent album by King's X.
Yeah, 100%.
That's good.
We should be playing that instead of our regular music. But instead of that, we're going to talk about the movie Dogman. Well, in the same week, we got to see Dogman and also Monkey Man. Both are about men dealing with their traumatic past. Both have trans folks that are awesome.
Yeah.
And both star actors that are freaking amazing
True.
in the lead role. So apparently, anything that has the word man in the title will have amazing actors in it. It's just a thing. Like, just go through every movie that has the name man in it, and it's probably true.
Superman.
Christopher Reeves, Murray's favorite
right.
movie, and his favorite superhero.
That's right.
It's absolutely.
Okay.
Well, maybe not Superman 4, but we don't need to go there.
Yeah, they should have stopped after 2.
Not if it doesn't have another number on it. It's
They should have
just
stopped
it's
after
just the
2.
original man.
Yes.
Which one was 3? Was 3 with Richard Pryor?
3 was Richard Pryor.
Okay, yeah, no, that needed not to be made. 2 was good.
And 4 was the nuclear guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
So
bad.
3 and 4 didn't need
But 1 and 2 were
But
fine.
the point I'm making is just the man part, not a 1 or a 2 afterwards, just the man.
Okay, then.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so that's where pretty much where things are now no longer similar though between Monkey Man and Dog Man.
Serious
Plus,
man, that was
plus,
excellent.
yeah, see, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Go through your mind, figure all the ones that have the man in the title. It's
All
a
right.
thing. With this one, you need to suspend a bit of belief
a little
to
bit.
be okay with the whole story. I feel if you believe
you
that
gotta
a
suspend
man,
a lot of belief.
it's a little bit of belief. If you believe that a man can be so close to dogs that he can actually communicate with them, then you will be in for the ride of your life, potentially. Caleb Landry Jones is brilliant in this, and I mean absolutely brilliant. I was so captivated by him in every single scene he is in. I could not stray my eyes off of him, even though there is a lot of scenes with cute puppies, which I could have been looking at, but I could not take my eyes off of, what did you call him? CLB? CLJ?
CLJ.
Some kind of acronym?
CLJ, baby.
There you go. This film shows the worst of an abusive childhood, where a boy finds his only solace is his friends who ultimately become his family, who are his dogs. He survives by using all his skills like acting, dressing, and performing in drag, using his dogs to distribute wealth, and, oh yeah, becoming the dog father by using his dog family as protection services, which ultimately take him to prison, where we get to meet our other lead in this, who's played by Jojo T. Gibbs, who last we saw in the movie Past Lives from this last year. The acting by everyone in this is absolutely stellar. The story takes you places you don't expect, but then also takes you places you kind of do expect. But you still don't mind because there's a lot of dogs in this. And they are so fun and they are so stellar. Dogman is weird and wonderful. And I thought there was some moments that maybe could have been done a little differently, but I didn't care because the film is worth going to, if nothing else, to see Caleb Landry Jones, or CLJ. I loved not just because of him, because there was also a lot of cute dogs. Did I mention these dogs were cute?
They were adorable.
And that this dog man is a freaking mondo, and we've got some unpacking
Wow.
to do.
Wow.
This is one of those ones that, as far as the story was concerned, and I don't normally rate things like this because I'm not Bryce, but Caleb Landry Jones in this is so beyond brilliant.
Yeah.
To see his performance in this, that alone makes this movie a mondo. But then add the dogs in there and it just pushes it over the level of
There
mondo.
you go.
And I got some unpacking, but what did you think of
Okay, so
Dog Man?
So Dogman is not the feature-length directorial debut for Luc Besson,
What? Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
who also wrote this.
Yes.
I forgot he directed this.
However, this is much like someone making his first film, as every crazy idea in Besson's head
Yes.
ended up on the screen. Just the premise is exhausting. Caleb Landry Jones plays Douglas, who is obsessed with Shakespeare, very religious, is a drag queen in a wheelchair, who is sort of a dog whisperer, who along with his canine friends takes
Yes.
on and picks fights with local gangs,
Yes.
all while using his dogs to perform heists to rob the rich of their frivolous trinkets.
Yes.
There is not one frame in this film that is believable
Yes.
on any level.
Yes.
And yet, the performance of Caleb Landry Jones, along with the very well-trained dogs, make this complete train wreck of a movie not only watchable, but pretty much mesmerizing. I wanted to hate this because there is so very much wrong with it. Not a lot of this makes much sense, especially when the dogs are involved. Not sure how they end up on the roof of a house, or how they're able to
climb,
or how they're able to break Douglas out of jail, or countless other things. And there are always convenient occurrences as doors open at just the right time, and there just happens to be a spot where the dog can get out of the yard. But once again, Caleb Landry Jones is absolutely amazing in this, and it's completely dumb, and I mean dumb as the script was. I cannot say that at any moment I was anything but entertained. As I say, I should have been annoyed by every ridiculous second of this, but I wasn't. In fact, quite the opposite. The more ridiculous this got, the more entertaining it got.
It was bonkers.
And it was really, really ridiculous, which means it was really, really entertaining. Dogman had way too much wrong with it to be Mondo, but it was way too entertaining to be a rage. So I guess it was meh. Screw it. I know this was not a great movie, but for me, I could not have been any more entertained. So I say Dogman on the back of Mr. Jones was Mondo.
See? Did I predict that or what, Murray? I literally predicted that coming out, and I did not know this as a fact.
This was the dumbest script that's ever been written ever.
It was so good.
Yet Caleb Landry Jones and the dogs make it so wonderfully just wonderful that you can't help but love this movie, even though there's so many reasons to hate it. But it doesn't matter because he's so good and they're so good, and it's just so enjoyable.
There's one scene in particular where I can't remember where it was in the movie, but it's got a lot of close up on him, and he is so beyond acting his fucking ass off in this movie. But there's one scene in particular that just left me. I was almost bawling my eyes out, but not because it was a sad part in the movie. No. I was like, I've never been moved by a performance in my life. Yeah. There's not been a performance by anyone ever in the history of film that is better than Caleb Landry Jones in this movie. Yeah. I'm going to state that. I will put that on my gravestone. Caleb Landry Jones in Dogman, the movie that shouldn't get a Mondo, is this. I want you guys to write this down so that when I die, this goes on my tombstone. That Dogman by Luc Besson, who's also one of my favorite directors, because he's wackadoo. He's okay. He's got French wackadoism on going on.
Yeah, nothing made sense, man.
Nothing made sense. But
and it didn't matter.
It didn't matter. He was so, as Murray says, what do you call him? Creepy?
Creepy as hell, yeah. He's one of the creepiest guys in Hollywood.
He's so naturally creepy in this, but it's to a whole nother level. Like, we've seen him in Nitram?
Nitram. Oh, Nitram is
he was good in that, but this is like, he just had this look in his eyes sometimes. It's like, you are gonna murder some people right now, and then he does.
From the very first time I saw him, I thought, wow, this kid's gonna be a great actor.
Do you remember where the first time you saw him was?
He was in an X-Men movie.
Yeah, I think that might have been.
And he was in the Tom Cruise movie.
Which Tom Cruise?
Which Tom Cruise?
The one about the flying, about the running drugs and stuff. The pilot one. He played the creepy brother.
What? He played creepy?
Yeah.
No, not Caleb Landry Jones.
Yeah, no, that's all he played.
That's not all he plays.
It's not Air America. It's the one where Tom Cruise is like a pilot and he's like flying drugs.
Isn't it just American Made or?
Yeah, that's it, American Made.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. He shows up as a creepy brother.
Yeah.
You know he's in No Country for Old Men?
I did know that.
Yes,
yeah. He's very good in that too.
Yeah. I'm trying to see. He's in The Social Network.
Yeah.
It was X-Men First Class.
X-Men First Class. Yeah, I think that's the first. And I remember thinking,
who is this guy? Yeah. Why is he out acting everybody in this movie?
Yeah, and he's just gotten better and better and better every time.
And antiviral.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. He's so good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Baby Cronenberg.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Cronenberg knew.
Yeah. Cronenberg. Well, Baby Cronenberg, Papa Cronenberg, and Baby Cronenberg, who we're going to see their first movie this year.
Yeah, now it's like a Sister Cronenberg or something.
Yeah, she's not Sister Cronenberg, Murray. She's Baby
Cronenberg.
Is
it the sister of the baby Cronenberg?
Yep. She's the sister of Baby Cronenberg, but she's still Baby Cronenberg. They should write a song about
I don't
that.
even know what we're talking
You know, we should have a song.
Anyways,
about
long
Baby,
story
Baby
short,
Cronenberg.
Caleb Landry Jones is awesome.
Yeah, and this movie was also awesome because it was wackadoo and
It
it
was-
was Luc Besson.
I would have hated it.
Maybe.
Maybe
Oh,
the
no,
dogs
I
alone
would've.
were cute. You might have liked it
It
because you
sounds
like
so ridiculous.
you
I
like
would've
cute
hated
dogs,
it.
Murray. You love cute dogs.
All right, you done?
Yeah, that's
then.
that's enough for now. Oh baby,
All right, thought I'd give you something fun this week because
we do like fun
I like fun.
and
do.
puppies.
you're like on something right now.
Yeah,
I don't know
he's
what-
like
I don't know what your
It's
deal
on
is.
some kind of crack. I wish I was on.
I found this article and thought it was funny, so I thought I'd share it with you. I assume you guys have heard of Alan Smithy,
Yes.
which, if you haven't, is basically when somebody does something and it's so bad they don't want to take credit for it, they use the name Alan Smithy instead because they don't want it on their IMDb page.
Yep.
Well, these are movies that were so bad that the directors actually disowned them and refused to take credit for them.
Ooh.
We'll see which
How many of them? I'm going to predict that out of the how many are on the list?
7.
I say that I liked 3 of them. Let's see.
Okay, well, we'll see. No particular order.
Yep.
We got Hellraiser Bloodline,
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah.
which
that's
was
not
the
good.
4th installment in the series,
Yeah.
directed by 2 different directors.
Yeah, that's always a
First
kiss of
one
death.
was so bad that Miramax ordered reshoots,
Yep.
which he didn't come back for after the art department and camera crew were fired in the first week.
Oh my God.
The new director spent 2 months reshooting, and editing completely changed what the original director had planned.
Oh my God.
Neither director wanted credit for this garbage, and neither one was ever heard from again.
Lucky them. They decided this was such a terrible
Yeah.
film.
It was
I
bad.
gotta get out of the business.
Yeah, pretty much.
I felt bad for the road that Hellraiser series went down.
Oh,
Boy,
yeah.
there was
It could've been so
And
good.
we have Babylon AD.
Oh yeah, I bet you don't like that one, Bryce.
This movie
No, that
starred
wasn't
Vin Diesel
Yeah,
and
What a surprise.
Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah.
sure did.
When Yeoh won the Golden Globe for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Diesel actually posted a picture of the two of them together on the set of this film, even though it was probably the worst film of her career.
Definitely
It
is.
was a box office disaster, destroyed by critics and audiences, yet they actually teased a sequel at the end of it. The director was very unhappy with the finished product and refused to take credit for it.
Nice.
Next up, Fantastic Four from 2015.
Oh yeah, that's a bad one too.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
This movie was so bad that director Josh Trank trashed his reboot by telling the world there was a great version of the movie that existed, just wasn't the one that was about to be released.
Wow.
Day before the movie was released in multiplexes around the world, he basically called it shit. He said, "A year ago, I had a fantastic version of this, and I would have received great reviews. You'll probably never see it. That's reality, though." 20th Century Fox actually claimed it supported the filmmaker's original vision, yet Trank refused to acknowledge Fantastic Four as part of his filmography.
There you go.
Yeah, it was.
That was
alright.
terrible. What are you
Yeah,
Uh, then we have
You didn't like it.
the last
yeah.
Hellboy, 2019.
Oh, yeah.
I
that's
liked
terrible.
it.
After the
Ugh.
first 2 films, Guillermo del Toro
Yeah.
Yes.
and Ron Perlman
Yes.
spent a decade repeatedly stating they wanted to do a third one.
Yes, and they should have.
But they were completely ignored in favor of a disastrous reboot.
I liked
The
it.
director of the new film called it not a film that I would consider to be part of my canon.
David Harbour's terrible
Called
in
it the worst professional experience of his life.
And
Eh.
mine too.
It was fine.
He summed it up with the phrase,
Yes.
"You can't polish a turd no matter how much you try."
That's right, Bryce.
Yeah, it was fine.
That's the guy who directed it. Just saying.
You're fine.
I am. Thank you.
We have Supernova.
Supernova.
2000.
Is that Dustin Hoffman?
I don't know. Walter Hill, who directed The Warriors,
I love Walter Hill.
practically invented the buddy cop genre with 48 Hours.
Oh wait, wasn't Supernova the one?
And he worked on the story
I don't
for
know what it
Aliens. Seemed like a good candidate to be a sci-fi action film that was described as Hellraiser in space. The movie starred James Spader and Angela Bassett. So it should have been good.
Yeah, I remember it now.
Hill said the budget was cut halfway through the shooting. Spent months trying to cut together a decent edit.
Yeah, it's not.
And finally decided enough was enough, and he quit.
Yeah, it wasn't
They
good.
brought on another director for reshoots, and even Francis Ford Coppola was enlisted to try to make it salvageable. That didn't happen. And 2 years behind schedule, it's sent to cinemas to die a slow death.
Wow, that's 3 directors. You know you're getting in for a treat.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Then we have Accidental Love from 2015.
Already the name is making me hate
I
it.
don't think I know this one.
Once the bottom fell out of the movie, David O. Russell planned on making. He completely
I just
washed
watched
his
this
hands of the
recently.
project. He probably did.
It was okay.
That didn't stop the movie studio at all, who went ahead and pieced together the film anyway.
It was funny.
James Marsden.
There were over a dozen shutdowns and multiple walkouts from the cast and crew due to financial issues.
This was in the Rage or Dare bag a few months ago.
And Russell stated he was no
awful.
longer
It's okay.
involved in the project and could not call it his film. 4 years later, it was released with a fake director and writer credit. Like, they just put in names of people who don't exist. Who would have thought that a movie starring Jessica Biel, James Marsden, and Tracy Morgan would be bad?
Don't forget Gyllenhaal.
And Gyllenhaal.
Jakey.
Yeah, but he's actually good
Don't
actor.
you remember he just made Roadhouse?
Yeah, well.
Remember that?
I don't, because I didn't watch Jim. You're the only sadist that would put yourself through that.
No, I'm a masochist.
Oh.
And finally,
Fair enough.
in anticipation of our upcoming, what's coming up here,
Nuptials?
later up in the broadcast here,
Okay.
we have Fear and Desire,
Fear and Desire.
1953.
Nice.
Sounds excellent.
This is Stanley Kubrick's first film.
Yes.
It mysteriously disappeared from circulation in the years after its release.
Yeah, there's a rumor that he
The
actually...
urban legend
Yeah,
is that
okay, go
Kubrick
ahead.
destroyed the original negative and tracked down as many remaining copies as he could find.
I knew that.
Despite that, Fear and Desire has survived.
Yeah, well.
When
You
it
can watch
became-
it on Prime.
When it became public domain and started screening for movie fans, Kubrick openly trashed the film to discourage people from watching it,
Which made everybody watch it.
calling the drama a bumbling amateur film exercise that wasn't reflective of who he was as an artist.
And it's rated G. Stanley Kubrick rated G.
1953.
Nice.
Anyway, yeah, if you want real crap, check out those movies.
I'm going to watch
Yeah,
Fear
some
and
of them are
Desire
pretty good.
tonight.
Some of them are pretty good.
No, I'm on Team Murray here.
Yeah, well.
I just presented. I don't know if I agree.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
All right. My rage this week is that Bryce and I went to the movies on Monday. And so it's now, Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday. And Bryce, for the entire first 20 minutes that we're sitting in the movie theater before the movie starts,
Yeah.
was going on about what his rage was and then wouldn't tell me what the fuck it was.
Oh.
So my rage this week is that Bryce is supposedly one of my closest friends and he couldn't even give me a inkling of what he's raging about today.
Keeping secrets.
So that's my rage. Bryce
That's
is
it?
keeping secrets from me
He's all mysterious now, and apparently on drugs.
and on some kind of drug
I'm
that
not
he's not
on
shared
anything.
with us,
That
Murray.
he didn't share with
With
us.
us. That's my
it?
rage.
All right.
Is that
Stop
really
keeping
your rage?
secrets.
Alright.
Quit keeping secrets. I had a good time at the movies.
Yeah, no
I
kidding.
had three Mondos, three Mondos and a man.
Yeah.
I had 2 Mez, a Rage, and a Mondo.
Yeah, but 3
was a
out of
good
4
time.
Mondos. So yeah, you didn't have a rage.
Just like
so
Meatloaf. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
That's right.
Yeah.
But 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
3 out of 4 is even better.
That's
you go.
right.
All right. So you're going to have to like really listen because it's pretty convoluted, but
Terrific.
here we go. So my CineClub membership through Cineplex is something I pay $9.99 per month for.
Plus tax.
For that $9.99, I get one free movie
Plus tax.
every month, which already pays for the membership. Plus, I get 20% off concessions, no online purchasing fee, and up to 2 admissions for $9.99 per screening.
2?
Up to 2 admissions for $9.99 per screening. That last part is sort of true.
What?
When I pull up my CineClub membership page, it says I only have 1 admission for $9.99.
Mine says 2.
It had said this for a few months, and it would not let me purchase 2 tickets for $9.99. I would try to click on the button to purchase 2 tickets, but it was stuck on 1, which I guess makes sense because my membership page says that I only have 1. But why?
Ooh. Good. I wonder why.
Right on that same page that says I only have 1 $9.99 ticket, it says that with your CineClub membership, you get up to 2 tickets for $9.99. So I call up Cineplex and I ask them, what gives? The gentleman on the other end of the line explained to me that I have up to 2 tickets.
Oh.
But if I only purchase 1, then I only have 1 left, and I have to purchase that one before it resets to 2? I told him that I was pretty sure that was not the case, and could he perhaps put me through to someone that
Who's
is more
smarter?
familiar
Smarter.
with the inner workings of the CineClub? He put me on hold for about 3 minutes, and when he came back, he said that he had talked to his supervisor.
Stupid advisor?
Yeah, sure he did. And
He went to the bathroom.
and assured me that what he had told me had now been confirmed. So I said, okay. So what you're telling me right now is I have only 1 $9.99 ticket available, but when I purchase my next single ticket for $9.99, my account will reset to 2 tickets available for $9.99. He said yes, that was the case. I said, I hope you're right. Otherwise, I will not be very happy. In hindsight, I should have just bought a ticket while I had him on the line.
Yeah, duh.
But whatever. So the next day, I decided to use that single $9.99 ticket that was available to me to purchase 1 admission to Problemista, which
Nice.
we reviewed earlier on the podcast.
Yes.
After doing this, I went back to my CineClub membership page, absolutely more excited than I'd ever been about anything in my life to see the tickets available. I couldn't wait to see the page so I could see that giant number 2 where it indicated how many $9.99 admissions were available to me. But there was no number 2.
What?
It was still a giant number 1.
Sounds like it was a number 2 for
Sounds
you.
like-
The
it was a number 2.
Cineplex guy had lied to me.
What?
Oh.
So I immediately phoned Cineplex again, and amazingly enough, I got the same guy.
Nice.
So I was like, dude, you told me that if I had purchased a ticket for $9.99, I would then get reset to 2 $9.99 tickets available. And I still only have 1 available. What gives, buddy? So he tells me that he indeed told me the truth. However,
What?
because I have 1 free ticket available to me, I would have to use that
Kurt.
before it reset to 2 available $9.99 tickets available. It was at this point I started laughing as hard as I have ever
Because
laughed
it's pretty funny.
in quite a while. I'm like, okay, buddy. So what you're telling me is that anytime I have unused free tickets on my account, I will only be able to purchase 1 ticket for $9.99 until that free ticket has been used. He said yes.
Oh, I'm seeing why you told me it wouldn't affect me.
And you're also telling me that even if I have no free tickets, I will need to use a single $9.99 purchase twice before it will reset to 2 tickets? He said yes. Then I asked him, What if I start accumulating free tickets and do not use them for months? So let's say I have like 6 or 7 free tickets. Well, I have no $9.99 admissions until I use all but one of them. At that point, I'll only have one $9.99 admission until I use the last free one, at which point then it would reset to 2. He said, no, I will always have at least one $9.99 admission, no matter how many free tickets I have accumulated. I said, okay. So I put what he told me to the test on Monday.
Nice.
I used my free ticket and went to see if my $9.99 admission reset to 2 available. And guess what?
It did.
It did. So then I purchased a $9.99 admission, and according to him, I would then only have one more admission at that price, and I would have to use it before it reset back to 2 $9.99 admissions. That is not true. He had no idea what he was talking about on that one. It turns out as long as you have no free tickets available, you will always be able to purchase 2 tickets at the $9.99 price to every individual screening. What a ridiculous, convoluted program this is.
You know that what the message I'm reading through this?
Uh-huh.
And can you guess what I'm going to say?
Yeah, I don't care. You can say it afterwards. With Landmark Movie Lovers Club, for the exact same price, it does not matter if I have a free admission. I will always have 2 $9.99 admissions available to me for every screening. No convoluted rules where only one is available in certain situations like Cineplex, but whatever. They're both good deals, but one of them is just a little better, which is the case more often than not when comparing the 2 leading movie theaters in chains in Canada.
You know what else?
What?
With Landmark, you get 10% off concession,
We
which
get-
you don't get with Cineplex.
No,
Yes,
no,
we
you
do.
do.
You
You
get
get 20% off.
Of both.
On both.
Yeah,
I've
you
never
do.
seen that.
No, you do.
Well, because you don't have the membership.
Yeah, you get 20% off both. So
Yeah.
they're the exact same deal,
Yeah,
except
exactly.
Cineplex is more convoluted. So I just wish that Landmark could be a little less mainstream, and then I'd be like super happy.
Well, you'll
because I'm pumping the tires of Landmark, but you're still not bringing in the movies I want.
You'll
Landmark.
be happy to know
Yes.
that this coming weekend,
Yes.
Landmark has 2 art house films that we'll be able to watch.
Well, you'll be able to watch. I'll be in Edmonton.
Well, there'll be a Landmark in Edmonton.
Oh, I hope they're available in Edmonton.
No, I think they're a little more mainstream in
can-
Edmonton though, so you probably they're not as art housey as we are in Calgary.
At any rate, I could not believe I went all through that to
Yeah,
just find
I can't
out
believe that you
just
subjected
ridiculousness.
our listeners to
Yeah.
10 minutes of that because that was like completely boring.
Whatever.
And the ultimate
It was.
message of what he said.
Now,
'cause
I'm
just go back-
educating the masses.
Let's just go back to what
the
I
moral
tell
of the
him.
story is use up your free tickets
Yeah,
when you have
that's
them.
what I've been telling him. Because you know what,
I don't
Murray?
like
If he
using my
drops-
free ticket.
If he
You
drops
don't like
dead
free
tomo-
stuff?
If he
I
drops,
like it. I like using it eventually.
If he drops dead tomorrow, he's got so many free cards on all his different movie cards that nobody will get to use, and that's what
Right.
I've been telling him from day one. If he just would have listened to me, the Rage. Now, see, this is.
But then I never would have learned all this.
You wouldn't have had to learn it because I've never had to learn it because I use my free shit up when it's free. Because if I dropped it tomorrow, probably from a stroke from listening to you talk, it's easily gonna make it so I don't have to leave that in my will to somebody. But I can tell you this: if I do die, I'm leaving it all to Murray because
Yes.
you don't deserve it.
That's right.
You're not going to use the free shit I give you.
That's right.
I'm giving it all to Murray.
I use it eventually.
I love free stuff.
Nope, because you've literally just caused Cineplex a lot of stress because
Yes.
you're being too dumb.
No reason.
By the way, but when I was like laughing my ass off, the guy found the humor in it too. He was just
course he
he was
did.
laughing on the
Of
other
course he
end too. I was like, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm not trying to be a pain in the butt. I'm just trying to understand exactly what every convoluted rule
Problem
you're
is-
going to throw at
problem
me
is
is.
he doesn't understand it either.
Well, that's the
and
thing.
He
and
works for them.
and he thought that's the whole thing. He understood that it was just so dumb.
it
It's
was
like
stupid. They had to make it simpler.
I think the other thing is that he's probably like, we put you on hold for 3 minutes
know
to
what they
laugh
used
his
to
ass
have?
off at you. He goes, who in their right mind isn't using their free tickets and spending more money?
Then they
he's
have
like,
to.
ha ha ha,
Yeah.
hey Foster, check out this dude, blah blah blah, ha ha.
anyway.
you know what they used to have?
What?
Like in the old days?
Paper money?
Punch cards.
Ugh,
Yes.
that's
You go to
terrible.
like 4 or 5 movies, you get one free.
That killed so many trees.
Whatever.
You know The Brazilian rainforest would be much better if they hadn't have made punch cards.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
all
sure that
gonna
was
say.
it.
100%.
There you go.
I'm sure that's the only reason.
It's the only reason.
Whatever.
Ah,
Are you done?
I'm done.
And once again, the merman was right.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
All right. Well, we did not have a charge from last week, mostly because we're getting closer to having no more mesmerize offs
Yes.
because apparently there isn't any left.
No, there isn't.
But on top of that, we're coming into festival season, so we gotta clean our pipes out.
Do a
Something
flush.
like that.
cleaning
we
time.
gotta have lots of time to watch I think it's 30 movies we're gonna watch over
Out of
the
the
festival.
50?
Yeah. Well,
You're
we
not
can
gonna
only
see them all?
we can't see them all because they're not in the same. We can only go put our asses in seats, however many times a day. So get ready for that. So for those of you who are listening to us, it's your first time and you made it through Bryce's Rage, which, they're not normally that long and they're not normally that terrible. So be patient with us for next week. But go to our website. Go to our website. Yeah, that's how I feel. Oh, he's having another cramp.
We're all in pain.
He's having a cramp. So go to our website, filmrageyyc.com, and if I can sample Bryce screaming from his cramps, though, that will be on our list page. But go to our list page and look up. We have 5 categories. We have mesmerizing, repulsive, doubted, and undoubted. And we have another one that they were either repulsive or mesmerizing, and they were taken off from somebody else. So this week, I want to put forward, and I don't know why we didn't have this unless we did try to put it on before. And the reason we didn't put it on is because I thought that I hated Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh, you did too?
Yeah. Because I watched it when it first came out in 1999.
Yeah.
And so I said, you know what? I'm going to rewatch it. So I rewatched it over the weekend, and I didn't hate it.
Okay.
There was parts about it that I hated, but I didn't hate it. So that made it a meh, which
Okay.
opens the door for us to talk about Stanley Kubrick. So are you ready for this?
Sure.
I am.
1962's Lolita. It was Mondo.
Mondo.
1964's Doctor Strangelove, which is Mondo.
Mondo.
1968's 2001: A Space Odyssey, which is a Mondo.
Mondo.
1971's A Clockwork Orange, which is a Mondo.
Mondo.
1975, Barry Lyndon, which is a Mondo.
Mondo.
1980s, The Shining is a Mondo.
Mondo.
1987's Full Metal Jacket, which is a Mondo.
Meh.
Uh-oh. And then Eyes Wide Shut, which is a...
Meh.
No! How can this happen?
However,
No! What?
I'm willing to do something.
You're going to rewatch Full Metal Jacket and Eyes Wide Shut?
Not both of them. I know what.
What,
I
you
know
have
what
to
Eyes
watch?
Wide. I've watched Eyes Wide Shut twice. I know what it is.
Okay, so it's a...
I didn't hate it. But
Yeah, it was a meh, right?
It's a meh.
Yeah, good. Okay. Whew.
I have only watched Full Metal Jacket once. I watched it when I was quite young. I would have been 13 when I
love
watched
this.
it.
I love that movie. It's in my Vietnam War movies. It's my favorite Vietnam War movie.
I'm not a war movie guy.
I know you're not. That's what makes this one so good because
At
the
any rate-
acting in it is so stellar.
So I will rewatch Full Metal Jacket,
Nice.
but remember, it's got to be a Mondo.
Yeah, we get it. Our listeners are excited about this.
But
I'm
it's
sure.
it's the one on here where I could say
The possibility.
It's a possibility, but it was fine. But I was
But you
also
were-
very young.
You were young. That's like me when I watched Eyes Wide Shut. So
Yeah, you're so young when Eyes Wide Shut
And
came
Mr.
out.
Kubrick, he only directed...
You're just a little baby.
it was ish.
And Stanley only directed 13 movies in his life.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you have to have 8 that are Mondo.
Yeah. Well, no, there can't be two Mez or a Rage.
No. It's
Can't be
just-
two Mez
Well,
back to back.
There's none that I would rage about, but there's some I haven't seen.
Okay.
I think there's a lot you haven't seen. You haven't seen Lolita.
No, I haven't seen Lolita.
Have you seen 2001?
Yes, I didn't like it.
Like you didn't like It's a Rage?
No, it was too long. I didn't like the ending.
All right. Did you see Clockwork Orange?
I did. I loved that.
All right.
All right.
Have you seen Barry Lyndon?
Never heard of it.
Have you seen Doctor Strangelove?
No,
All right. You haven't seen Lolita. The Shining? Haven't seen
I
it?
haven't seen it, but I'm sure.
Full Metal
it's awesome.
Jacket? Did you see it?
No, I'm not a war movie fan.
And you're not gonna like. Well, you might be mad. You get to see.
Are you kidding? Eyes Wide Shut
Is your favorite
with
movie?
Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
And a naked Nicole Kidman?
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
She's very
Of course
naked.
it's a Mondo.
All right. Well, there you go. Okay.
It's
well,
screwed up,
whoosh,
but it's a Mondo.
Whoosh! Thank God.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing there that takes him off.
I was
so.
literally, yeah, it was nothing that took him off. So
Except
that's
for
good.
possibly me with Full Metal Jacket.
Well,
we'll
you
see.
know,
I'm
you're,
sure it's a good movie. Who's in it?
well, you know, we've
Harley
all,
Ermey's in it.
we've all done something that's caused us,
Matthew
the rest of us,
Modine,
to not be
Vincent
happy.
D'Onofrio, Adam Baldwin, not one of the Baldwins.
Mm-hmm.
Arliss Howard.
Yep, it's good.
All right.
All right, so we're gonna find out maybe next week whether or not Stanley Kubrick,
Yeah.
because now he's no longer with us, will be undoubted for life.
There we go.
All right, it's good. It was a good list.
Maybe next week. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've got a busy week.
Ugh, you and your. Oh yeah, you do.
I'm also busy Wednesday, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
Yep.
All right.
Last week on Rage or Dare, Jim thought he would get a pass and pull from our listeners' bag of meh. However, he soon realized our listeners in fact do understand how to make him rage, as he pulled what may be the biggest rage in film rage history. That's right, he pulled Tron Legacy. Damn it, why didn't I think of that one? Not even the dude could save that. Guess he should have written more tank programs. This week, our two little ragelings can choose to rage, or dare, or merman, or Casey. That's a mouthful. Doesn't really roll off the tongue. Rage, or dare, or other options. I'll workshop it. Get in front of some focus groups and see what the kids think. Anyway, let's hear what Jim has to say about the dude and his long-forgotten offspring, and see if the quality is as good as the original 8-bit game of Tron, or if the dude should have just stayed at the bowling alley, or even just at the arcade. No matter what, I'm sure our listeners are in for a treat hearing what Jim has to say. Damn it, why wasn't this in my bag? I mean, I'm known for my horrible bag of remakes and unnecessary sequels. How did I miss this one?
It's true. I don't know how he missed this one. Of all things. You know what? Here's the thing. I did a fairly sizable write-up about this, about all the reasons that made me rage on this film. From the very beginning of the movie, the person who plays his son is so annoying. That alone made me want to rage. But then on top of that, his dad has been missing for like 20 years. And then in a matter of seconds, his partner gets a pager text that they say, "Oh, you should probably go back to where he was and put a quarter in the..." And like in
machine.
5 seconds, he finds out he's created this world behind a machine. I'm already like, this is the
That
dumbest.
sounds pretty cool.
No, it's like they could have found his dad like 20 years ago. And then
Sometimes
and then on
the
that,
simplest
you've got
solutions just pass us by.
You are the simplest solution. And then on top of that, we get the dude who's basically the dude from.
We get two dudes.
Yeah, you get more than two dudes. There's
Well, at
multiple.
least-
There's
I mean,
multiple.
at least two of the
There's
dudes.
multiple dudes, but they got CGI dude, which
Yeah,
is
CGI
absolutely
dude. Younger
terrible.
CGI dude.
Which is absolutely terrible. And then
Yeah.
you got old
The
dude,
old dude.
who's basically dude, and he's supposed to be like a genius programmer who talks like and walks and
But
is
he
the
But he got
dude.
stuck inside his own game.
Yeah, this movie was so awful, and it was over 2 hours long. I hated every frame of this movie. I hated the fact they were playing frisbee golf to kill each other, which made no sense whatsoever.
Disc
Why
golf.
they're
It's a disc.
This was painful, so painful to watch. I hated this so badly. I cannot believe our listeners' bag of mad produced the worst movie I've ever seen. I remembered hating this when I went to the cinema
Yeah,
to
I
see it,
wasn't crazy
and
about it.
rewatching it again. And again, my wife, God love her, she looks at me and she says, "Why?
Why are you watching
Why?" And then, of course, we had to go back and watch the original, which was, still also terrible.
Dated.
But
It was
but
dated.
so you've got a terrible movie that also you may make another
awesome
terrible
game,
movie.
though.
It's
Is
Tron the
it?
game was fun. I remember when there was this and Missile Command, I would sometimes play
Exactly.
Tron.
Other than whatever that speeder bike with
Yeah,
the
it was,
colors
a
coming up
laser
with that.
bike with
Yeah,
the
that was
things.
good. That was fun.
That was it. That's the game.
Well, that's not the whole game. There's other things.
There
in
was
the
like
game.
4 of them,
I
but
don't
that
know,
was
it's all
one
I
of them.
really
And there's
cared
the one
about.
where you throw the disc, and that was horrible.
Yeah,
And
it's-
there's a bunch of games in it.
Yeah,
They're all
so-
terrible.
so the
except for
game-
skater
Games
bikes.
within a game.
The game and the movies, Tron, and if they ever make another one, I hope I'm dead when that happens because it's so terrible.
Yeah, I'm almost convinced I must have fallen asleep through that because I don't
Sure you
remember it.
Well, there were
But
two
that
things.
was back in the days where I didn't fall asleep in anything. I mean,
Now you fall asleep
watched-
in everything.
I do not. That is a vicious rumor that was started by you guys.
Hashtag Wienergate.
Whatever.
There's so much Wienergate going on. Right
There
now.
actually were two things about this movie I didn't mind. I mean, yeah, it was nowhere near.
Did you watch it again or something?
No, I watched it the first time. I watched it
And
a
you
couple times.
remembered
I've seen it
it?
a couple times, of course.
He willingly watched it a couple times, Jim.
Jesus,
That movie was on TV at some point.
Hail
There you go.
Satan.
Uh,
All right.
Michael Sheen, as always, is awesome.
I wouldn't say awesome.
He was the
in
best thing
same.
about it.
Yeah, okay.
And I
I'll
didn't-
give you that.
And I didn't mind
So
Olivia
of
Wilde.
all the
because,
awful in this movie-
Olivia
I wasn't
Wilde,
really listening. Who you're pulling?
We are pulling,
We're pulling?
from either Casey or Murman or the Dare Bag. Merman's got a lot of stuff in here.
Yeah, let's go, Merman.
It's mostly stuff on Tubi, so you should be able to find it.
Nice. You know what? Ain't nothing wrong with Tubi. Tubi Tuesday.
Yeah, they got some.
I've watched some stuff on Tubi recently.
Yeah.
Well, I'm broke, so I watch a lot of free stuff.
Yeah. All right. We're going to be
Tubi.
watching
Yes.
Double Trouble.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to say Double Impact.
Nope. Double Trouble from 1992.
I don't know what that is.
Murray, you've literally made my life happier.
I don't know what Double Trouble is.
I don't know either, but
Can't remember.
Well, how did it make your life happier if you don't know where it is?
because it's got the name Double and Trouble. It
so
rhymes.
there's twice as much in it.
Wait a minute. Is this Mary Kate and Ashley?
It might- I
Because we
don't-
have a rule about
I
that.
don't-
Yeah,
I
it
don't-
can't be that.
I don't think it was. Can't remember who was in it.
Is it?
I was kind of on a tear. I picked a few actors and I basically listed all their movies.
Wow. This is going to be terrible. I remember seeing this.
Oh, it's got the, what are they called? The
The twins.
Barbarian Brothers or something?
Yep. Peter Paul and David Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is bad. I can't wait to see this. This could be a Mondo.
Double Trouble.
Hopefully, it's still on. TV.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we'll find it. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to that. Something Tubi delivers always the good bad.
Muscle-bound twins try to smash a jewel smuggling ring,
Yeah, I actually think I saw it.
I think it's a Mondo.
and it got an awesome 4.1 out of 10.
4.1? We've given Mondos up to less
Roddy
than that.
McDowell's in it.
I love Roddy McDowell.
David Carradine.
The original Monkey Man.
There you
David Carradine's in it.
So much Monkey Man.
go. All right.
Apparently, that's what we're going to watch every week, a Monkey Man movie.
Sure.
So much monkey.
Not enough Monkey Man. All right, well, it's been a good time. Bryce on drugs.
I'm not on. Stop. Why do you continue to try to make rumors?
The two worst rages that have ever been created. Well, thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks, Extended Film Rage family. You can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey, the nerdy photographer, and the voice of Rager Dare, our God of Rage. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We are always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, subscribe, and send us emails to filmragecalgary@gmail.com to see terrible movies to fuel our rage. But no matter what you do, please, 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 pretty please, 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 I'll make us a rage. That's it for this week. Rage on!
Rage on.